Hello, this is Bill with my reading plans for March. So a while back I made a video where I said I wasn't going to make any plans, and I wasn't going to participate in booktube reading events. Just choose my book to read as I need another book to read. But then I decided I should read my books I got in my Christmas book haul before next Christmas. And then I made a list of 23 science fiction books that I want to read in 2023. So now I'll have a couple of books here for reading events in March. Events that I wasn't planning on participating in. So first I'll finish reading Tales of the Dying Earth by Jack Vance. So I'm about half done. But this was on my list of 23 science fiction books to read, but actually it's fantasy. So this is made up of 4 books put together. So The Dying Earth was copyright 1950. The Eyes of the Overworld, copyright 1966 by Ace Books. So chapters in that book appeared in the magazine of fantasy and science fiction in 65 and 66. And then Cujo Saga, copyright 1983. And then Rialto the Marvelous, copyright 1984. And these novels were originally published together under the title The Complete Dying Earth by the Science Fiction Book Club in December 1998. So this book is the first Orb edition from November 2000. So it could be science fiction if there was some explanation of how the magic actually works. Like if there was rogue nanotechnology and AI in the environment long after people forgot what nanotechnology and AI was all about, you could invoke them with incantations and they would seem like magic spells. But since this was started in 1950, that was probably a little early for authors to start thinking like that. So he probably didn't have that in mind. He might have had in mind that it was based on ancient technology. So in The Dying Earth, he does mention that the magic is based on ancient science and mathematics. But 1950 is probably too early to be thinking about nanotechnology. So for March Mystery Madness, I'll read Inspector Imanishi Investigates by Seicho Matsumoto, and translated from Japanese by Beth Carey. So this was first published in 1961 in Tokyo. So a direct translation of the Japanese title would be Vessel of Sand. So this translation is copyright 1989. And this is from Soho Press. And then for March of the Mammoths, I'll read Anathem by Neal Stephenson. So this is a book on my 23 science fiction books to read this year. But it's 998 pages. Or if you skip the extras at the back, it's 981 pages. So I wasn't planning on reading anything for February fantasy stories, but I started reading this book in February, which turns out it's fantasy, and I thought I was going to be reading science fiction. And then I'll probably read some short stories from the big book of science fiction during the month. So that's all for this video. See you in the next one.